During the past 10 years, the present BJP government is in power. If this government remains in power for another 100 years, will they create a welfare state for the workers and peasants? A state which the Hindus call Ram Rajya, which is the ostensible goal of all political parties. Will this government be able to provide income to the working people that will be adjusted to the rate of inflation? Will the working people have the privilege to get schooling of international standard? Will the working people have the privilege to get health care of the international standard? Will the masses of the retired people be provided with people's pensions? Will the infrastructure of the cities and towns be improved to international standard? Will the female population of the be guaranteed of their security in public places? Will the bureaucrats and political leaders be subjected to accountability? In view of the past 10 years' record of BJP government, it is clear that policies of BJP government has always been and is being designed mainly to provide all possible privileges to the monopoly and crony capitalists. The common people are made to believe that main task of both the central and regional governments are to ensure day-to-day basic needs of the people. Being convinced of such assurances, common people chase this mirage of wishful thinking and keep on voting at regular intervals. When Congress was in power before this BJP government, whatever could or should have been done to improve the living conditions of common people was not accomplished. Why was it not accomplished? If that question is posed, then the answer is first, the intention to improve living conditions of common people was simply not there. Second, gross incompetence of the leadership. Above all, total absence of accountability of the political leadership. A system or members of a society can never prosper if a well-defined and well-organized tradition of accountability is not well established. If the term prosperity means that most members of a society have access to schooling, health care, decent living, infrastructure of the cities and towns of international standard, according to such parameter, India is by no means a developed country, even though widespread government propaganda wants Indians to believe that massive national prosperity and development is not confined just to India, but is even influencing the whole world. The ruling party's loyal media are dutifully preaching that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has become a formidable world personality to whom the great powers of the world is bowing down. If there is even a grain of truth in this propaganda that Prime Minister Modi has become a revered international personality, that is because Prime Minister represents the most populous rather than prosperous country, not because of any achievement of his own. Let's take a closer look at the ground reality of such claims. In the year 2023, month of August, Prime Minister Modi visited South Africa to attend a meeting of BRICS. The acronym BRICS refers to an organization established and represented by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. When the plane of Indian Prime Minister landed at the main airport of South Africa, a junior minister of South African government appeared to receive Mr. Modi, who rightly sensed disrespect, so refused to descend from his aircraft. Following a good deal of bargaining, Vice President of South Africa finally appeared to receive the Prime Minister of India and saved the situation. On the other side, when President of China, Mr. Xi Jinping, landed at the same airport without any delay or controversy. The president of the host country himself appeared to receive the president of China. Let us take a listen to a brief commentary on this incident.
Hello, South Africa. BRICS, why India's PM refused to exit plane after landing in South Africa. Somebody call Andy Cohen, only Real Housewives fans will get the reference, because a BRICS reunion special could be on the cards after Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi refused to exit his aircraft when in touchdown at the Waterkloof Air Force Base to attend the 15th BRICS summit. As we know, Modi eventually joined other world leaders, but it took some effort by President Cyril Ramaphosa. According to Daily Maverick, Narendra Modi was not impressed with the fact that only a cabinet minister had been sent to welcome him to South Africa, as he had been expecting Ramaphosa himself on the tarmac ahead of the BRICS summit. After being informed about the incident, Ramaphosa then sent Deputy President Paul Moshatile to greet Modi.
This brief presentation conveys how the world looks at India. As per the General Convention, prestige must be earned. Prestige cannot be acquired through bargaining. A prime minister of a country, if not aware of this simple fact, that is an insult to the country he represents. BJP-owned, docile, and domesticated mainstream media are all out to convince the voters of India that under the leadership of Mr. Modi, meaning BJP, prosperity and development throughout India is substantial and widespread. His remarkable achievements have forced the world to accept India, meaning Mr. Modi, as a great world leader. What could be more glorious than this piece of information? Unfortunately, 110 crore working population of India, after thorough scanning, is unable to trace or taste the fruit of such so-called massive prosperity in their wretched daily life. A brief presentation of Bangladesh TV touches on the significance of such propaganda. Let's take a listen.
যদিও তারা প্রতারণার শিকার হয়ে রাশিয়ায় গেছেন, কিন্তু এর মাধ্যমে পরাশক্তি হয়ে ওঠার চেষ্টায় থাকা ভারতের করুণ অবস্থা ফুটে উঠেছে। বিশ্বের শীর্ষ অস্ত্র আমদানিকারক দেশ হচ্ছে ভারত, অথচ দেশটির কোটি কোটি মানুষ বাস করছে হতদরিদ্র অবস্থার মধ্যে। সামান্য বেতনে চাকরির আশায় রাশিয়ায় যুদ্ধ করতে যাচ্ছে ভারতীয়রা। এর মধ্যে উপরের চাকচিক্যের আড়ালে হতদরিদ্র ভারতের করুণ চিত্র ফুটে উঠেছে।
What does it matter? After all, India belongs to 40 crore people of the ruling class. The remaining 110 crore population do not exist in the consideration of the ruling class or their government. If there is development and prosperity, which certainly there is, it is confined to the 40 crore people of the ruling class, and hence the claim of growth, development and prosperity is not a falsification of fact. The question is, the fruit of this achievement has gone to whom? During the British rule, the ruling class of 50,000 white English people enjoyed fantastic development and prosperity. The remaining 30 crore Indians of that time were starved to death in man-made famine. The native Indian ruling class, domesticated and loyal to their British masters, dutifully tried to convince native masses that British rule had initiated real prosperity of India. This native ruling class has to this day promoted slavish imitation of those whose mother tongue happens to be English. At the expense of all sense of self-respect, Indians are being conditioned to imitate Anglo-American language, their food, clothes, their gesticulations, conversations, movements, even their skin complexion. Widespread, complete and thorough imitation of all that belongs to those whose mother tongue is English is being propagated as the sign of glory, aristocracy, prosperity and success. It is a culture that any freedom-loving, truly independent nation would consider as bastardized culture. Subtle conditioning sends covert message that adoption of this culture, which means blind imitation and propagation of everything Anglo-American, is key to national glory and prosperity. Conditioning your mind in this way of thinking has become the main objective of present-day Indian education system. Currently, India is the most populous country in the world. Its total population is about 150 crores. Of this huge population, about 14 crores are said to be Anglophone, which means they can express thoughts in English. In real sense, their English literacy has made them illiterate. Information that is transmitted from India to the rest of the world is mostly based on the activities of these 14 crore Indians. The remaining 110 crore remains under the radar. How these 110 crore people live or die, how their schooling, healthcare, housing, lifestyle, their laughter, sorrow, and aspirations are never accounted for. The mainstream media, political leaders, or parliament sessions never bother to pay attention to or discuss their lifestyle and aspirations. This huge mass of humanity is living dead members of the nation. Whether inside the country or outside, nobody cares or pays attention to this mass of humanity. This is not the scenario of today, but is the reality of past centuries. The main leader of the well-publicized movement called India Against Corruption, Sri Anna Hazare, jokingly coined a term Kala Angrez, meaning dark-skinned English. They are the product of Indian education system which scavenges on the leftover of Anglo-American West. They are both ignorant and contemptuous of their own language, literature, history, tradition, and culture. Given a chance, they would love to establish the rule and influence of Anglo-American West in India. This community can be considered as the ruling class of India. They are powerful bureaucrats, holders of prosperous small and mid-sized business. Political leadership, etc., are largely under their control. Basically, administration is controlled by this community, no matter which government comes to power in the center or the state. They must satisfy the class interest of this community. During the past 80 years, amid corrupt political culture of India, in the year 2014, suddenly a new player emerged by the name of Aam Aadmi Party under the leadership of a young technocrat named Mr. Aurobindo Kejriwal. Unlike all other political personalities of India, instead of cheap criticism of fellow politicians, he declared his political agenda is to pay attention to the basic needs of slum dwellers. He boldly declared with all technical details how he ventures to supply electricity and drinking water almost free of cost to those who live below poverty line. He promised to upgrade the infrastructure of all government schools and came up with a detailed plan of how education in government schools will be made result-oriented. Outlined his methodology of upgrading government hospitals to 5-star facilities and providing healthcare services of international standard to the people of all sectors. Above all, he discussed in detail how his party functionaries will engage themselves to control rampant corruption throughout the government administration. As Mr. Kejriwal activated his entourage to implement all the proposals and started getting results as expected, he was first ridiculed and criticized by the mainstream corporate media. As more and more people became attracted and intrigued by the stamina, spirit, and dedication of his party and his leadership, bosses of the central government became alarmed of the potential of Mr. Kejriwal. Consequently, all his activities were fiercely opposed and sabotaged by the bosses of the BJP government. Along with time, the leadership of Kejriwal helped his party to gain more and more strength. Despite fierce opposition from the BJP government of the centre and scandalous use of government agencies like Enforcement Directorate (ED), Income Tax, local police, Election Commission, even judiciary against Mr. Kejriwal and his party. They managed to win elections in Punjab and Delhi Municipal Council. Despite all opposition, their spectacular works on reforms of schools, hospitals, infrastructures continued. More and more of the underclass people flocked under the banner of his party.
पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री श्री भगवंत मान जी ने आज भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ बहुत बड़ा ऐलान किया है। उन्होंने ऐलान किया है कि 23 मार्च को शहीद आज़म भगत सिंह के शहादत दिवस पे एक व्हाट्सएप नंबर जारी किया जाएगा। पंजाब में अब अगर कोई भी ऑफिसर, कोई भी व्यक्ति आपसे रिश्वत मांगे काम कराने के लिए, आप सरकारी दफ्तर में अपना राशन कार्ड बनवाने जाते हो, जाति प्रमाण पत्र बनवाने जाते हो, मैरिज सर्टिफिकेट बनवाने जाते हो, बिजली का कनेक्शन लेने जाते हो, कुछ भी काम कराने जाते हो, हम जानते हैं कि हमारे देश के अंदर बिना रिश्वत के काम कराना कितना मुश्किल है।
Vested interest, mafia, corrupt bureaucrats, big business and mainstream media all close ranks against Aam Aadmi Party. Resistance from vested interest continued for about 10 years, which made the party stronger than ever before. Currently, this party has formed governments in Delhi as well as in the province of Punjab. They have representations in the parliament. They won seats in the local assembly of Gujarat and Goa. How this political party has progressed over the last 10 years is without precedent in India. The political party that shows courage and honesty to take stand against traditional corruption and vested interest, that party will naturally be confronted with conspiracy, protest, resistance, and misinformation. Resistance against this party is resistance against workers and peasants. Whether this is an instance of class struggle is not our point of discussion. Neither do we intend to take sides of any given political party. Our intention is to present some brutal facts and request you to understand who is working in your interest and who is or has made you bankrupt and amassed fortune of their own self. Which camp should you choose so that your family may get a chance to lead a decent life, and which camp is likely to bankrupt you even more than what you have become? One thing is very clear. The political party in power, that is BJP leaders, never express or explain what plans they have that may help build better life for working class people, so that masses of India can lead a decent life for their family. All their plans are centered around religious activities, building of temples, building of roads and bridges. Such activities are of importance, no doubt. Those who are raising flags of religion just take a close look at those elements and note those who are capitalizing on religion, temples, holy books, and meditation are the people who are pauperizing you. There is an adage in Bangla that says, overt show of sainthood is the clear sign of swindlers. How closely this adage fits into the conduct of those who raise flags and screams of religion. Here are some examples. Take a look at this presentation about fake degree of the Prime Minister of India.
Following recent developments, particularly Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's statement suggesting that Prime Minister Narendra Modi may not be disclosing the details of his degree due to his ego or the possibility of holding a fake degree, discussions surrounding Modi's Master of Arts certificate from Gujarat University issued in 1983 have intensified. Please know that this fact check intends to address and debunk specific claims made about Modi's degree certificate on social media. We will not be making a comment on the authenticity of the degree itself. The first of the three major claims is that the font face used in the certificate is Old English text MT. We compared the text in the certificate with the same text written using the actual Old English text MT typeface. The designs do not match. Additionally, we generated the text using various text generating software for Old English text MT, including the website of the font's copyright holder, Monotype Corporation.
Here is another presentation. Accusation against the Prime Minister of India. Accusation of murder.
गुजरात में मोदी के शासन के ऊपर किताब लिखने वाले रिटायर्ड IAS हर्ष मंदर अपनी किताब बिटवीन मेमोरी एंड फॉरगेटिंग मस्कियर एंड द मोदी ईयर्स इन गुजरात में लिखते हैं कि ये वो दौर था जब गुजरात में जगह जगह एनकाउंटर हुए। करीब 22 ऐसे लोगों को पुलिस के द्वारा निपटाया गया जिन पर मोदी की हत्या की साजिश रचने और आतंक फैलाने का आरोप लगाया गया। बाद में जांच करने पर कईयों एनकाउंटर फर्जी निकले। दरअसल उन दिनों गुजरात में बहुत से मुस्लिमों का ये कहकर एनकाउंटर कर दिया गया कि ये आतंकी थे और मोदी की हत्या करने आए थे।
Here is the third presentation. Prime Minister being accused of involvement with murder of the Justice of Supreme Court, Mr. Lawyer.
इन्होंने काफ़ी सारी डेट्स रखी कि इस दिन हेयरिंग होगी, लेकिन उस दिन अमित शाह नहीं आए। बार बार ऐसा होता रहा और उसके बाद इन्होंने एक फाइनल डेट रखी दिसंबर 20, 2014 कि अब तो अमित शाह को आना ही पड़ेगा हेयरिंग सुनने के लिए इस केस की। लेकिन इत्तेफाक की बात है कि नवंबर 30, 2014 को जस्टिस लोया की मौत हो गई। रिपोर्ट में कहा गया कि इनकी मौत हार्ट अटैक से हुई है, एक अचानक हार्ट अटैक से हुई है, जो कि बहुत चौंका देने वाली बात इसलिए थी क्योंकि इनकी फैमिली हिस्ट्री में कोई ऐसा केस नहीं है हार्ट अटैक का। इनके पापा मम्मी 85 ईयर्स की एज के हो रखे हैं और दोनों इस वक्त जिंदा हैं, कोई हार्ट अटैक का विक्टिम नहीं है। इनकी खुद की हेल्थ भी बहुत फिट एंड हेल्दी रहते थे, तो ये अचानक से हार्ट अटैक आना बहुत सवाल उठाता है। इसके बाद जो तीसरे जज आए इस केस की हेयरिंग करने के लिए, उन्होंने 1 महीने के अंदर अंदर ही अमित शाह को बाइज्जत बरी कर दिया। तो जस्टिस लोया की मौत को नेचुरल डेथ बता दिया गया। काफी दिन तक जनता वही मानती रही। 2017 में कैरेवन मैगजीन ने जस्टिस लोया की फैमिली के साथ इंटरव्यू किया, जिसमें कि उन्होंने बताया उनकी फैमिली को नहीं लगता कि इनकी मौत नेचुरल कॉजेज से हुई है। उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि उनको 100 करोड़ की रिश्वत ऑफर करी गई थी अगर वो इस केस में फेवरेबल जजमेंट देते तो।
Prime Minister of India is being accused of destroying democracy in India.
उसके बाद अरविंद केजरीवाल दिल्ली के चीफ मिनिस्टर ने सारे जजेस के सामने एक स्पीच देते वक्त कहा कि जजेस के फोन टैप करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, जुडिशरी को अंडरमाइन करने की कोशिश की जा रही है। उसके बाद सरकार ने एक ऐसा लॉ भी लाने की कोशिश करी जिससे कि वो अपना इन्फ्लुएंस जुडिशरी तक बढ़ा दें। वो लॉ था NJAC। ये लॉ सरकार को पावर देता था कि सरकार के पास ऐसा डिसीजन देने की पावर होगी कि वो जजेस की अपॉइंटमेंट कर पाए। तो बेसिकली हमारी सरकार ही जजेस की अपॉइंटमेंट कर रही होती। तो मैं आपसे कहूंगा कि इस प्रोपेगेंडा के इन्फ्लुएंस में ना आइए। ये कोई अरे गहरे लोग नहीं बोल रहे हैं, ये कोई हमारे पॉलिटिशियंस या न्यूज एंकर नहीं बोल रहे हैं, ये टॉप मोस्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सबसे हाईएस्ट जजेस बोल रहे हैं कि हमारी डेमोक्रेसी खतरे में है।
A sitting chief minister being taken into custody by using government agencies.
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की गिरफ्तारी सिर्फ एक व्यक्ति के बयान के आधार पर है। ये व्यक्ति कौन है? इस व्यक्ति का नाम है शरत चंद्र रेड्डी। शरत चंद्र रेड्डी औरोबिंदो फार्मा करके एक बहुत बड़ी दवाइयां बनाने की कंपनियों के मालिक हैं। इनके पास कई और कंपनियां भी हैं। जिसमें से 2 प्रमुख कंपनियां हैं, एपीएल हेल्थ केयर और यूजिया फार्मा। शरद चंद्र रेड्डी जी को भी दिल्ली की एक्साइज पॉलिसी में शराब के कुछ दुकानें मिली, उनको कुछ जोन मिले। शरद चंद्र रेड्डी को 9 नवंबर 2022 को क्वेश्चनिंग के लिए बुलाया गया और शरद चंद्र रेड्डी ने साफ साफ कह दिया कि मैं कभी अरविंद केजरीवाल से मिला नहीं, मेरी उनसे कोई बात नहीं हुई, मेरा आम आदमी पार्टी से कोई लेन देन नहीं है। जैसे ही उन्होंने कहा कि मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल से मिला नहीं, उनको तुरंत अगले दिन ईडी द्वारा गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया। कई महीने जेल में रहने के बाद एक दिन शरद रेड्डी जी ने अपना बयान बदल लिया। शरद रेड्डी जी कहते हैं कि मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल जी से मिला भी। शरद रेड्डी जी कहते हैं कि मेरी उनसे शराब घोटाले पे बात भी हुई। और जैसे ही शरद रेड्डी ये कहते हैं, उनको जमानत भी मिल जाती है ईडी के द्वारा। लेकिन ये तो सिर्फ बयान है। पैसा कहाँ है? मनी ट्रेल कहाँ है? क्योंकि बीजेपी और उनका राइट हैंड इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट तो बार बार कह रहे हैं कि शराब घोटाले में पैसा बना और शराब के दुकानदारों ने इस पैसे को भ्रष्टाचार में, इस पैसे को रिश्वत के तौर पे दिया। लेकिन ये तो शरद चंद्र रेड्डी का सिर्फ बयान है जिसके आधार पर अरविंद केजरीवाल को गिरफ्तार किया गया है। मनी ट्रेल कहां है? मैं बताती हूं आपको कि मनी ट्रेल कहां है। ये है मनी ट्रेल शरद चंद्र रेड्डी की कंपनियों द्वारा दिया गया इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के बैंक अकाउंट में पैसा। आज ये मनी ट्रेल पूरे देश के सामने आ गई है कि शरद चंद्र रेड्डी, औरोबिंदो फार्मा का मालिक, एपीएल हेल्थ केयर का मालिक, यूजिया फार्मा का मालिक, शराब का कारोबारी, उसने 4.5 करोड़ रुपए के इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स दिए एक्साइज पॉलिसी के बनने के दौरान भारतीय जनता पार्टी को। उसके बाद गिरफ्तार होने के बाद 55 करोड़ रुपए के इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स दिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी को। तो जिस मनी ट्रेल की पिछले 2 साल से तलाश हो रही थी, आज वो मनी ट्रेल सामने आ गई है कि आखिरकार।
In reference to all these accusations against the sitting Prime Minister of India, this record is unprecedented. What else can one say? Just a word of caution. Remember the adage, overt acting of sainthood is the clear sign of swindlers. When you go to cast your vote, reword your Prime Minister and his political party accordingly. Best wishes. If you like what you see and hear, please subscribe and ring the bell.